In the military parade held on September the 3rd to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the victory in the World Anti-Fascist War, a historic moment shook the world. China publicly displayed for the first time the trinity of land, sea, and air-based strategic nuclear forces. This force consists of Thunderbolt 1, air-based long-range missiles, Zhurong-3, submarine-launched intercontinental missiles, DF-61, land-based intercontinental missiles, and DF-31, new type intercontinental missiles, as well as DF-31, submarine-launched intercontinental missiles, DF-31, new land-based intercontinental missiles, marking China's emergence as one of the few countries in the world with a complete nuclear strike force. This indicates that China's strategic nuclear deterrent system has entered a new stage of development. The concept of the Trinity nuclear force originated during the Cold War and refers to the simultaneous capability of land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles and strategic bombers for 3 types of nuclear strike. This structure can greatly improve the survivability and counterattack reliability of the nuclear force. Xiao Yongling, a military expert, said, "The launch of air-based strategic missiles gives China one more option for its nuclear strike mode, making nuclear deterrence and counterattack capability more reliable and credible." The JL-1 is an innovative weapons system developed by China. As the world's only air-launched hypersonic nuclear missile, its debut quickly attracted global attention. Unlike traditional air-based nuclear weapons, which rely mainly on cruise missiles and nuclear bombs, the JL-1 is a new air-launched hypersonic missile with a nuclear warhead. It has a double-cone head design with 4 triangular control surfaces at the rear of the head. This design means that it has excellent maneuverability after the head and body are separated, and provides a surprise capability that is far beyond the reach of conventional air-launched nuclear cruise missiles and nuclear bombs. From the aerodynamic layout, JL-1 adopts the wave-riding body design, which is capable of floating, maneuvering at the edge of the high-altitude atmosphere, with an unpredictable flight trajectory, making it difficult for existing anti-missile systems to intercept. The JL-1 is an air-based ballistic missile, which can also be called an air-launched hypersonic strategic missile. Its configuration is highly recognizable, with 4 trapezoidal and triangular foldable wings at the head and tail of the missile body. This double-cone structure is similar to the combat section of the DF-26 missile, which not only improves the missile's pull-up and end guidance capabilities after re-entry, but also reduces the difficulty of thermal management during terminal attack. According to outside speculation, the JL-1's combat unit has the ability to maneuver in the re-entry section, and its re-entry speed can exceed Mach 17, making it a top-notch missile in terms of surprise and defense capability against existing anti-missile systems. According to the assessment of the International Institute for Strategic Studies, the JL-1 missile has a length of about 10 meters, a diameter of about 1 meter, a launch weight of about 5 tons, a maximum range of more than 3,000 kilometers, and is capable of carrying a thermonuclear warhead, with an estimated explosive yield of 200,000–300,000 tons of TNT. The combination of the JL-1 and the H6N bomber will increase the deterrent effect geometrically. The H6N bomber, after aerial refueling, has an operational radius of more than 5,000 kilometers, which, together with the range of the JL-1, will expand the operational range of the JL-1 to 10,000 kilometers. 10,000 kilometers. This means that all the military bases in the second and third island chains of the U.S. blockade of China will be included in the scope of the attack from Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean, Guam to Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. Once something happens, we'll face the joint strike of H6N and JL-1. Even the U.S. mainland, under the right conditions, the combination of H6N and JL-1 can also hit. H6N as a launch platform has unique advantages. It can maneuver in a wide airspace and is difficult to be tracked. It can launch missiles outside the enemy's defense zone and has a strong survivability, and it has the capability of rapid reloading and multiple strikes. The air-based strategic nuclear force is one of the most reliable secondary nuclear strike forces, using strategic bombers as strike platforms, with greater mobility and therefore greater survivability. Strategic bombers can be lifted up at any time to carry out nuclear strike operational readiness, and it is difficult to predict the location and timing of the launch of air-based strategic missiles, thus increasing the difficulty of detection by the adversary and lowering the probability of being intercepted by missiles. Compared with the Russian Air Force's Dagger, Hypersonic Missile System, the JL-1, has a longer range and stronger surprise defense capability compared with U.S. air-launched nuclear cruise missiles. The hypersonic nature of the JL-1 makes it virtually impossible to intercept. Military expert Zhang Junxia pointed out that the introduction of air-based long-range strategic missiles can provide a supplement to China's existing nuclear strike means. Long-range strategic bombers carrying long-range strategic missile strike mode, faster response time. Other nuclear missiles in the parade were equally notable. The Zhurong-3 submarine-launched intercontinental missile further expands the strike range of China's submarine-launched missiles. From long-range to intercontinental, this means that the range of the Zhurong-3 missile can reach more than 8,000 kilometers. Ultra-long range means that China's strategic nuclear submarines do not need to go out to the so-called second island chain or the Pacific Ocean depths to implement nuclear counterattack. In China's coastal areas can have sea-based strategic nuclear strike capability. The finale of the DF-5C liquid intercontinental strategic nuclear missiles is an important part of China's strategic counterattack system, with a global strike range, full-time alert and effective deterrence. DF-5C intercontinental missile, with a range of 15,000 kilometers, can carry 10 guided warheads, each of which can be independently ray-orbited. The Zhurong-3 missile has a range of 12,000 to 15,000 kilometers and can carry about 10 guided warheads with a total explosive yield of 1.5 to 3 million tons of TNT. The unveiling of the JL-1 air-based missile has far-reaching strategic significance. It marks the transition of China's nuclear forces from minimum deterrence to moderate effective deterrence, and the construction of nuclear forces pay more attention to diversity and survivability. This shift will directly affect the strategic balance in the Asia-Pacific region. Previously, the United States deployed in the Asia-Pacific region of the missile defense system is mainly aimed at China's land-based intercontinental missiles and the emergence of air-launched hypersonic missiles, so that the effectiveness of these defense systems greatly reduced. Military experts at Singapore's Rajaratnam School of International Studies said, the development of China's air-based nuclear forces means that any preemptive strike cannot ensure the elimination of China's nuclear counterattack capability, which greatly enhances the credibility of nuclear deterrence. It is worth noting that China has always adhered to the policy of no first use of nuclear weapons while developing its nuclear forces, which contrasts sharply with other nuclear powers and demonstrates China's image as a responsible power. The H6N, with one JL-1 missile mounted on it, has a 4,000-kilometer radius of operation without refueling. Together with the missile's own range and the support of refueling planes, the Chinese Air Force has a reliable long-range and even intercontinental strike capability. The establishment of the trinity of nuclear forces means that China has the capability and means to launch long-range counterattacks against any military target in the world that poses an actual nuclear threat to China, providing a solid guarantee for the country's sovereignty, security and development interests. The development of China's nuclear forces has always been guided by a defensive national defense policy, aimed at safeguarding national sovereignty and territorial integrity, and contributing to world peace and stability. With the commissioning of new types of weapons, such as the JL-1, China is building a national defense force commensurate with its international status, and providing security guarantees for the realization of the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation.